Alright guys, Carl Bill 800 HD. This one is for Randy. He actually prepaid for this along with another item. And he also ordered on the website for this to be tested with a MFJ meter instead of the Bird. Now the Bird meter test is complimentary if he wanted it tested on a Bird, but he opted to have it tested on the giant MFJ meter. And normally I put that option out there for people that want to see radios tested, because I don't test every radio that leaves, but if you want it tested, you can opt to pay a little bit extra and get a video of it tested on an MFJ, a Bird, or a dosimeter. But he added this to his cart and got it, so I'm assuming he wants the Carl Bill 800 HD tested on it. No problem there. We'll get a decent little comparison for what this meter shows versus the Bird. The first thing I'm going to do, excuse me, is test our RFX29. Now on the Bird, it usually shows about 100 watts PEP, maybe 105, and it does about 35 or 40 average. So what we're going to do is test it on this giant MFJ meter. We're looking at the second scale from the top, which is going to be the 200 watt scale, and we are on, hello, let's see, got a wrong button pushed in here. Hello, okay, we're on average power right now. So this is going to be the average power rating according to the MFJ giant meter, okay? This is not going to be accurate to a Bird. It's going to be a little bit different than what our Bird reads. So it looks like we're rolling with about a 5 watt dead key according to this meter. Hello, audio, average power. Average power, and it's showing about 55, 60, 65 watts average. Talking into the mic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it is showing a little bit more generous on the average power side. Usually what I tell people is that these meters, sometimes they'll show a little bit tighter on peak, but they do show more generous on average power. So keep in mind, guys, again, this radio does 35, 40 watts average on a Bird. On this meter, it does about, what, 60, 65? Now I'm just going to go to peak. So we've pushed in the peak button. Still looking at the 200 watt scale. Hello, and it's showing, what, 110, 115? Audio, about 110 or so, I'd say. Hello, if I can aim the camera in the right place where you guys can see it. Audio. And the peak is relatively close to what we see on the Bird 43P. So showing about 110, 115, somewhere along in there. So now what I want to do is put it to the 2kW position, turn the Carl Bill on. Now I want to set my dead key first, so I'm going to go to average so we're not getting any kind of misleading readings. And we're looking at the top scale, 2000 watt scale. And it's going to be what would we call that? 175 watt dead key. That's fine. We'll roll with that. 175 watt dead key. Check our average power rating first. Hello. Audio. So showing 600 to 700 watts average according to this meter. Now if we were on the Bird, I would probably say it's closer to 550 or so. Because of the amount of power that we're putting into it, maybe even less. But showing, 650, 700 watts average on the MFJ. Now let's go to PEP and test what it does. Audio, 1100 watts. Audio, 1100 watts PEP. With basically 100 watts average in. So that's a good sign. It's doing, 10 times plus what we're putting into it, even according to the MFJ meter. Now this amp will take, 250 watts or so PEP to give you maximum output. If it was mine, I'd probably put like 200 watts into it and call it good. But 250, 275, something like that going into this, and it should be just fine. This is the larger case, 800 HD. I will always get these in the larger case unless somebody specifies that they want them in a smaller cabinet. I just really like this 2-fan large cabinet. But as far as the power readings, right on par with what we'd expect. Kind of just loafing this thing along. 100 watts in, showing 1100 out. You know what, as a matter of fact, I will end up pausing this video, and all I gotta do is plug 2 coaxes in, and we'll take a look and see what it does on the bird. Just a straight up comparison, that way there's no guessing about it. But before I do that, I'll show you how much current it's drawing. Well, it's drawing more than 40 amps, that we can definitely attest to. Hello, audio. Audio, audio. 68, 70 amps. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to turn this video off, and just since this is the first time doing it, I will actually hook back up to the bird and use a 2500 watt slug, and we'll see what we come up with. Rooster in Tennessee, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so here we are. We're going to check it out on the bird. I'll turn the peak kit off, and we'll go ahead and see what it does here. So we're looking at the 2500 watt slug top scale here. And we're showing about a 200 watt dead key. Hello, 500 average. Hello. So again, like I said, the bird is tighter on average power. The MFJ was showing 600, 700 watts average. Now we're going to test it on PEP. We're looking at the top scale. Hello, audio, audio, audio. And that's 1250 to 1300 PEP. Audio, check, 1, 2, 3. Audio, check, 1, 2, 3. Audio, check, 1, 2, 3. Audio. So, yes, the Bird 43P does read more generous on peak power, but considerably tighter on average power. It reads about, what we say, about 150 watts generous on peak, and it reads about 150 watts tight on average. So take that for what you will, guys. I should do a whole detailed video discussing, you know, the differences in these meters. First time somebody has actually requested something be tested on something other than a bird, which I have no problem with whatsoever. I don't mind showing you guys what things do on different meters. But keep in mind, bird is the industry standard. So when somebody tells you, you know, don't swing more than 200 watts peak into something, and your MFJ shows 150 and your bird shows 200, and you end up having trouble, you know, just kind of keep that in mind. All the references that I give people for power ratings will be based off what it does on a Bird 43P. Just keep that in mind when you're getting stuff. All right, guys, running out of camera here. Catch you guys on the band. Rooster in Tennessee. Questions, comments, shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. Catch you out there. See you, bye.